It didn't accept the new key. There we go. So we're up on Facebook in just a few seconds. There it is. Sorry, live on YouTube. Yeah. This is the CCS 2023 British Columbia Pool Championships, sponsored by Ray. I guess my commercial started halfway through. Oops. While they're waiting, I'm gonna go get a coffee. So I'll be right back in just a minute. A little bit of a line at the bars, so we'll just hold off on that.
We got a match on now?
Still warming up. It should have started 8 minutes ago, but we got to get going, guys. Time's a wasting. You're only playing on 2 tables.
Behind Slumber Lodge, but the second block, or yeah, it's Churchill.
Yeah, you're paying me in this one test.
But while we wait, I can at least keep you updated on the World Championships.
Well, I found my game on that last
Sufi with the sidearm canted wrist, a la Keith McCready. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Trails 7-5, but he's at the table now. His weight control is spot on right now. No fear of the pockets, no fear of the distance. But then again, if you're in the World Championships, you shouldn't have any. And he's so quick, too. No wasted time. He's got to stretch a little bit for this 8, so he's going to bring out the rake. Using it like the snooker players do, putting it down on the table. Elbow out to the right. Played that little bit of left siding to slow the cue ball up in the second rail. But you guys can't see that. Sorry. Suffice it to say, he now only trails by 1. World Championships, FSR versus Mohammed Sufi. But we have our own championship here. This is the CCS 2023 British Columbia Pool Championships. Sponsored by Raid Q's. Made by Falcon. Canadian company, I believe. And then Cap Billiards, Rose Cantor, our tournament organizer. Rob Wright, our tournament director. Making sure everything gets caught up and going smooth. He's done a heck of a job over the last few days, considering the late start we got. Got it in and got it caught up. I believe that's Mr. Rob Dayton on the right. Can I keep you updated on the B final? I don't have scores. I actually don't have any way to do that. Well, unless it's on the... unless it's on the unmonitored streams. And it doesn't look like anybody's used them yet today. I'll send Justin a note, see if we can get him to double check those and get them up and running. He's playing today, so I know he's fairly busy. Rob, weaving that cue ball in and out. Making it look easy. It's got to go past that 2 in the side. Or he wouldn't have set it up that way, although it does look tight. He may have to roll this ever so gently. This is a very delicate shot. You're kind of relying on this. Oh, it went right into the 2. Yeah, it was always going to be tight from that angle. Doable. Definitely doable. Or Rob wouldn't have played shape for it. think that's Kyle Foster on the right side. And that's Jeremiah Hampton on the left. Both surveying the table, mapping out their plan. Kyle needs to work something out with that 3. And he will. Jeremiah going to have to take the 4 now. Go back and forth to get back on the 2. He'll play this a little bit of top right. The right is just to keep it from drifting too far down table. Oh, wow. I didn't believe he... I thought he had way too much angle for that. That's a great little touch shot. Held the cue ball well there. The 2 ball just hangs up for Jeremiah there. He had an extra long look at it as he was leaving the table. I wouldn't want to be the 2 ball the next time he gets to the table. Or that corner pocket. Oh, Sean almost able to get in there with the 12. He does have enough room to follow this ball in. Now, there's a few different ways you can make a ball follow another one in. One is if they're in contact with each other and frozen, you can play a little bit of top or bottom spin on your cue ball. Kind of gives it a little bit of a gear effect and puts a little bit of top spin on your object ball, and as it's frozen, it just kind of spins and follows in. If there's distance between the 2, though, it doesn't work that way. Or not very well, anyway. So I generally find if you've got about 8 to 10 inches of room, you can usually make it work. More is just an accuracy issue. But as long as it gets some sort of rotational momentum after it hits the object ball or the blocking ball, it will have a little bit of natural topspin in it, and it will just follow it in. Sean tried it there. It's not easy, but he didn't sell out anything. Kyle leaving a long cut on the 8 or a bank. I don't mind the cut, because if you're going to cut that 8 down the rail, that angle makes the pocket a little bigger. The cue ball will go into the 6 and probably knock the 6 to this end rail. Your cue ball will go off the 6 and head down table towards the head spot. Unless you put bottom on it. He's got an elevated cue. Oh, he's just playing a 2 rail safe. Just playing a leave. And that's going to work. That's a tough out from there. Kyle going to play the cue ball up in behind the 6. Needs it to get there. I'm not sure it did. If it did, it's just by a hair. And Rob's looking at the 8 like he's got enough of it. Oh, and off both horns and out to the first diamond on the end rail. Sean on table 1. Playing these balls that are deep into a pocket is sometimes tricky. That one worked out well. Nicely on the 8 to put his team on the board. One nothing Metro Taguys. Rob going for the 8. And unfortunately, it's gone in the wrong pocket. So that's going to be another one for the Metro team. I think that's Chris Jackson up now. Along with that might be Phil Taranjo. Phil breaking from the left side of the table. That suggests to me he's going with the second ball break, so watch him crack the 3. Second ball break's been fairly effective here. He's made the 10. Huge cluster down there. That second ball break causes clusters. While I say it has been somewhat effective, I'm still a fan of the head ball break. You'll rarely find a professional that breaks on that second ball. To my knowledge, anyway, which, is definitely, incomplete. Russ Whittle on table 2. He's got a fairly open table. Doesn't want to come up to the backside of the 8. Oh my gosh. If there's one spot he didn't want to be, I'm not sure he can even kick at that 2 without throwing a whole bunch of side on it. No audio? Should be audio. Is it not working there? Hold on a sec. Maybe it's not going through the feed. Well, audio seems to be working. It's actually working too well. My voice was blasting through the speaker there. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm just glad we got it sorted out, Marie. Steve, I think it's just A division matches today. That's all they have on the docket for me. I won't be streaming any match twice. Right now, I've got the 5th-6th match between Alberta Beef and the Metro Taguys, and then after this, we're going to go over to the Teammates versus the Beer League Legends. That's a 1 o'clock match. Our next match will then be the third and fourth place match, I guess. The third place match at 3 o'clock between the B side and the loser of the A side. And then at 5, we've got the final. So it'll probably be done around 7:30, 8 o'clock maybe. There's just not enough time to get all the matches on when the races are this long. I don't believe they've had the races this long before. Race to 17, is that normal? Oh, so keep it up, eh? Okay. Russ trying to figure out how he can increase his odds of getting onto the 8-ball correctly. Leaving the 6 for shape on the 8 poses a lot of problems because the 15 ball cuts down the angles you can come off of it. He's going to do it now, though. He's just going to check and see exactly how he has to play this. It's very, very delicate. But he could come off that 15 down here. Could be playing for the bank. I don't know Russ's game that well, so that's going to help. That's going to make it a little easier for him. He can hit this a little bit softer. Yeah, and he's looking to get right down in here. So we'll play this just below center, a little bit of right, and just roll it in. Oh, he was into the 15. That was the tricky part about that 6 ball. Pretty sure the 10 ball's not in the bank, but he's still got the cut. I think that's, if I remember from yesterday, it's James on the left table, right? Correct? I mean. And Dennis is the fellow with the beard. Russ will take an extra second or two. James looking good here. Just needs to draw that 5 back a little bit to decrease the angle he has on the 3. That's perfect. If he stops right there or even rolls a ball width farther. Oh, he's going to elect to bounce into the rail and come out. I should be able to draw this right back to the center of the headline. Oh, he elected to not try and go that way, just leave it a little bit longer. And Russ has overcut the 8. But James looks like he's fine. Alberta Beef on the board. James Yonita, Up for Taguys for the Metro. Sufi and Ruiz still running neck and neck. I believe that's 8-8. James breaking from center. Right on that head ball. Almost pulls the 13 into the side pocket. 14 is going to give the corner pocket a look. But he's going to come up dry. Dry with an open table. This is Dennis. Dennis Porth. Get a Fargo on some of these guys. .641 out of Medicine Hat, Alberta. Rob Dayton, a .542 out of Calgary, Alberta. Russ Whittle, a .712. Jeremiah Hampton, .644. So, decent players here. James Hornby, a .576. Sean Telbin, he's been playing well this week. Old Stretch has had a good week. He's come in second in the men's team 9-ball. Fourth in the men's singles 9-ball, and fourth in the men's singles 8-ball. So consistent and strong. Can't ask for much more than that. Sean's come around and broke that 4 out. Can he get from the 4 to the 1? If he takes the 2 to the corner, rolls the cue ball up a little bit so he's got angle in this direction. Then when he plays the cue into the 4, he can slide that cue ball right into this gap and have the 1. It looks like he's powering up to play this with a little bit of top left and get in on that 1 right off the 2, but again, I'm fooled. Although I don't believe he's got the line he wanted. He may have to adapt here. He's got right up on the 8. Does he have the room to cut it? I think he does. It's just that cue ball now is going to be going towards that side pocket. He should be able to draw off of it and avoid it. But it's risky. Looks risky from here. Probably doesn't even have to consider it from there. Sean giving it a go, trying to get in on that 1. Great try. He's left very little options for... Gosh, I think it was James Yonita coming in. James will play safe here. They just break these 2 apart and let the cue ball drift in here. Just checking his angle to see how he likes it. There's not really any danger of scratching in that corner unless you really try and cut this side of the 2 instead of hitting it like that. You're letting the topspin on the cue ball carry it down there just like that. That'll work. Now Dennis does have an up and down kick. He's got to put a little bit of spin on the cue ball, I believe. Not much, but maybe we can see. No, he should be okay. Should be okay to just go by the 2. Doesn't really need to put anything on it, but he may elect to shorten it up and give himself a little bit of room by the 2, and then put just a tiny little bit of right on it. He's got a legal hit on the 8. No ball in hand. But it does retain control of the table for James Yonita. Nice safety there. Opening things up. He's got a wide open table now. Sean trying to make things happen. Whole stretch there. I see that's his nickname on Fargo. So. Sean trying to play that 8 ball off the 14 in the corner. It's got to slide just ever so slightly past the 12, but it was going into it. Now Rob Dayton with a wide open table and good position to start with. He can take this 8, clean up the 13, and then everything is clear. Oh, he's going to go too far right on the 13. Still has options though. hoping to get in there to start working on that 4-6. Should be okay here, though. He can probably bring that cue ball off the 2, inside the 4, aiming for the head spot. See him walk around the table? Not only does that give your conscious brain reference points, but your subconscious is also mapping that table. And I believe that that's where the feel comes in. You feel like you're going to hit that spot. Helped along by your subconscious. Gets all the way down to the end rail. Hampers is cueing on the cue ball. Should still be okay, though. He's going to go right at the 13. Probably going to come underneath it. If he doesn't come underneath it, he'll nudge it towards the side pocket and bring the cue ball back out. Oh, but he's missed the 11. Sean with a good opportunity here. He's been too consistent today to miss that. Puts his team back up 3-2. James Hornby on the right-hand table. James Anita on the left. Just roll the 4 in, come back out to the center of the table for the 6. That one was going to be tough to control the cue ball. He did well to slow it down there. Little bit below center, drawback 6-8 inches, stunning, bringing it up towards the 8 with the angle there. Don't need to go into a rail. You're actually simpler if you bring it this way, right? Because you're coming right into shape. If you go forward, then you're coming across the shape. You know, this little cone of happiness here where you've got good position with the cue ball. Dennis dropping the 3 off the break on the right-hand table. He's got to move the 8 around if he chooses low ball. James may have more angle than I think. He may have to go into the rail just to be sure of avoiding that scratch in the side. He's worried about drawing it into this area. And so he did choose to go into the rail. It's still a large target. Still makes sense, especially if you start to worry about bringing it short or bringing it to the side pocket. Russ Whittle up on table 1. Metro Taguys leading 4-2. James Hornby trying to reduce that lead. He's got to do something with that 9-14. Maybe he's got an opportunity to break it out here, but it looks pretty straight. He broke them out, but they got tied. Well, they're not really tied up. He just doesn't have a look at them. FSR up 10-8. Rust to break. Alberta Beef needs these 2 games to draw level. You do not want to let the Metro Taguys. You don't want to let the Metro team get ahead of you. It's a long race, so anything can happen, and leads can erase. Oh, Rust just kept the cue ball out of the side, but then the 14 came along and kicked it. Gave it a little tap in. So James, with his first attempt at getting out, was unable to, so Kyle Foster will come in. He'll give it a go. Everything rolls in for him here. It's just about having a pattern. You'd love to leave the 4 ball for the 8. So taking the 2 and getting rid of the 6. That'd be ideal, but coming out here for the 7 might lead you to the 6. There you can pot the 1, take the 5, 4, 8. If you're picking up what I'm laying down. Thanks everybody for the likes and the shares. If you want to give the page a like or a follow, that'd be great. We'll have more tournaments coming up. Probably toward the end of February and into March, we'll start doing a few more. Nothing quite as big as this for a while. Don't have anything on the books. With the ELO stream system, we can even do remotes as long as we get the cameras set up in the venue. Cameras and tablets. Follow along on CompuSport. That's James gets that bank to drop. Sets himself up nicely on the 8. Alberta only 1 back now. Trailing 4-3. Phil on the left table. Is looking good with low balls open, nothing tied up. Can roll forward a couple of inches to play the 5 in the bottom right-hand corner. That'll give you a nice angle to come back up for the 2 in the side or all the way up for 2 in the corner. And then 8 has multiple pockets you can play it to. Dennis Porth up on the right-hand table. Thank you for the update, Rob. I am following along right beside. Just too many Robs. I had a Rob walking by, Rob messaging on the chat room, Rob playing. You just start calling everybody Rob. Phil, steady on that too. To regain the 2-game lead. There it is.
Come on. Here we go. Somebody will be doing that. Against the wall, or your jacket, or up against the wall. Up against the wall.
Metro leads 5-3. Jeremiah Hampton up on the left table.
Not for a third. At least look like you give a fuck.
Chris Jackson on the right. Chris. Oh, did that fall down again? Working on low ball. Playing the 2, trying to leave it for the 6. That'll work. From the 6, straight up between the 1 and the 3, the 1 and the 13. One thing that a lot of people don't realize about cue ball control is when you hit the cue ball at a certain spot, that only works, like say Chris plays just above center on this to let the cue ball go forward of the 1. The 2 ways to do it is, I mean, for that one, he didn't really have to play anything because he's rolling it. But that means by the time the cue ball gets to the 6, it has what I call rotational momentum. So it's basically picked up some topspin simply from rolling on the table, and that will carry it forward. If he wanted that to come 90 degrees straight up the table, he has to hit it hard enough that the cue ball is sliding and not rotating when it contacts the 6. And then it will come 90 degrees off the tangent line up table. Same thing with playing bottom. If you try and draw the ball, but you don't hit it hard enough to keep the backspin to the contact point on your object ball, if it's sliding at that point, then your ball will go 90 degrees to the tangent line, or will follow the tangent line and just stay on it. If it started to roll a bit, then it will roll forward of the tangent line and act like it had a little bit of topspin on it. Still has to be spinning backwards to actually come back. I know most people know that, but some people don't. Chris trying to sort out that 5 ball. It's in a bit of a tough spot. I think Jeremiah, was that Jeremiah that just shot? I think so, with the gray hat. He's kind of left all his balls in one area there. Now that makes it a little easier for the breakout. Maybe he gets a chance to bank the 2 and pop the 3 and the 6 free. Chris is gonna roll the 1 in. If he plays the 6, I would almost play that rail first and try and use the 12 ball to push the 5 ball somewhere. Or is he trying to draw down into that little tiny area? It looks like there might be a little bit of a window from here. No, there's no window there. If it is, it's pretty tiny. I don't mind playing this with like just top left, rail first on the 6. Right, just before there, hit the 6, go into the 12, and push this 12, trying to bust that 5 free, and also let the cue ball hit the side rail and go up. Well, hold the phone. This might be crazy, but can he rub the 15 with the 5, use the 11, and make the 5 in the corner? I don't know if there's enough room between that 15 and the 8. I think he called it in the corner. Yeah. That rub on the 15 had to be so thin. I'm not sure it was even possible. So Dennis has it to do. Everything's open now. The 15 ball is probably the trickiest ball there, simply because he'd like to play it this way. I don't believe it goes by the 5. So he may play the 9 and drift the cue ball over here for the 15 right away, get the 15 out of the way. James hanging that 11 ball over the side, over the corner pocket on the left table, while Dennis is still working on that right hand table. He's got the 15 out of the way, so now the rest is a little easier. Jeremiah's not going to scratch on that, is he? Holy cow, I thought he was going to scratch. That cue ball almost looked like it did a little bit of a golf lip out. FSR on the hill. He's going to miss that 7, but he's going to leave it long. It's almost like he thought that that was going to be the case. Decided to play it long just to not leave anything easy for Mohammed Sufi. James not thrilled with how that 14 ball reacted. Dennis on the 10. Rattles it in. Cutting that 13 in the side and running the cue ball around 3 rails. He's missed it, but he's not sold out the 5 ball. Thanks for the update, Rob. James with the 14 in the side needs to roll between the 6 and the 2, just straight top. Wants to get an angle down table on the 10, so he'd love to go all the way to the rail. And a little bounce would be nice. Hoping for a bit more, but not bad. Oh yeah, I saw him miss the 7. Did Sufi make it and get out? He must have, because they're still playing. James just going to roll the 10 and the cue ball will naturally float down for shape on the 8. Oh, it's going right at the 8. I thought he was going to roll that a lot slower. Metro up 6-3. Make it 7-3. Chris getting out on table 2. James getting out on table 1. Sean, and I'm not sure who his opponent is. Maybe James? I'll be back in just a couple minutes, folks. Just need to go take care of something. There we go. I'm now armed with coffee. See Russ on the left table, Sean on the right, both playing highball. Russ hoping for a good result to break this 12 and 11 out. Not bad, could have been worse.
I had Courtney Rose who just finished eating and I couldn't stand the rain.
If they brought the lights here, would you still wear those new ones?
Actually, yeah. I mean, they were prescription and they weren't real dark. They were real comfortable.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Sean's got to move that 9. He's probably going to try it right off this little bit of top right, go into the 3, but with enough speed to come back out. There you go. Is he going to have a shot at that 14? Looks like there's room. If he's got the 14, that's ideal. And I like his odds of getting out. If he doesn't, then he's got to take the 12. Yeah, lots of room. Wants to keep some angle on the 9, which he does. Should be able to come back out to the center of the table. Right into here. Sean doing some good work here. It's going to go 2 rails back out to the center of the table for that off this 15. Oh, watch that side pocket. Don't hit the second rail then. Ooh. Thought he might have played that a little bit more top right, but it's working. Oh, and he overcuts the 8. He's going to leave a tough 3, though. James got to pull off a long bank 3 or some fantastic safety. You know, he does actually have a chance to go for the long bank and bring that cue ball around here, so that if he does miss it, he's faced with a tough 8, but his opponent... Oh, that's a great shot. Nails it. Sets himself up for the bank on the... Sets himself up for a bank on the 8 ball. Bank side, trying to kill the cue ball on the end rail. He's come up short. Oh, he made a beautiful bank on the 3. Sean has that 8 in the side. He won't, most likely won't have any issues with that. He's got to wait for his teammate Kyle Foster to cut the 1 ball in. Is that what he's doing on that table? I think so. Pushes the 2 over. Now he needs to get the 2 out of the row to the 7. He'll probably do that right now. May even try and play it so he can play the 2, then the 7, and then come up table. Sean with the 8 in the side. Metro up 8-3. Starting to put some distance between them. You let a team get momentum and it can really make it hard to come back, because the guys start to relax. They start to let their strokes out. They start hitting shots that they know they can hit. Oh, that cue ball's going to go too far. He might thread the gap, actually. He's got the gap on the 7 ball. Yeah, I'd take the 7. You can stun it off the side rail, come out near the foot spot there, or you can play top left and come around. If you don't like it, You have other options. You can take this 4. That's not a problem. Or he could take the 3. The 4 ball just wobbles in there. Just look like it might not want to comply. Kyle playing one pocket with his last 3 balls here. It's going to be tricky to get on the 7 from there. He's always got to avoid the side. He's not going to avoid the side. That's going to be ball in hand for his opponent. Russ Whittle finishing off that rack. Well fought battle there. 8-4. Metro leads with Phil Taranjo up on the right-hand table. And FSR has just won the World 9-Ball Championships. 13-10 over Mohammed Sufi. Great performance by both guys this week. Phil has everything open here. Some difficult, maybe a little touchy position plays, but doesn't quite get the 9 to drop. Who's that on the left table? Is that Chris Jackson on the left table? Too many guys wearing black shirts with forearm tattoos. I'll learn to recognize the tattoos and then I'll get them. Chris breaking second ball. Made one, 8-ball hanging in the side pocket. This is going to make it an interesting game. Left side pocket not available. Not too many balls that are, well, no balls really that need to go into that side pocket, so it could be all right, but one errant ball. Can start with the 15. Roll 4. Well, I don't think I like the high ball, even though low ball's got the 3-4 and the 5-2 in there. Just that cluster in the middle really makes it difficult to predict. Meanwhile, Dennis on the right. Oh no. Chris started with the combination, but got an unlucky rub with the cue ball on the 5 and put the cue ball into that right-hand side pocket. Better than the left one. James going to combo the 12 onto the 9. That'll get it done. He's got to look at the 10 with an open pocket. It might not be a standard run out, but it wasn't a standard table. Jeremiah on the left table. James just checking to make sure he's got the right clearance off that 13 to make the 12. Jeremiah a little steep on the 13. Should still be okay to get on the 9. Shape on the 8's going to be a breeze. Watch the scratch. Oh, he hits the horn. Oh my gosh, he loaded that up with left-hand spin. Just about dunked the cue ball. Now Dennis has got a... Holy cow, I stopped watching the left table. Wow. So Chris getting an unexpected opportunity. It's not a great chance, but he may have left the in off for Jeremiah here, but he could easily hit this and just knock it up onto the side rail here. Coming across it and knock that 9 up this way. But he does get it to go, but he's not going to get a shot at the 8. He's going to have to kick at it. Kick it or jump it. It's a short distance for a jump to hit real thin. He could follow it in. Into the horn, nicely done. That'll get Alberta Beef back within 3. Oh, and he tries to cut the 13 across. Does the cue ball have the speed, or is it going to stay out? Hanging out late in that pocket. Oh. 8-5. We're an hour and 20 into the match. This one's going to go long. Dennis trying to find a way onto that 13. Meanwhile, James Yonita on the left table, breaking from center. If you can figure this break out, it can be one of the most consistent with the best spread out there. Did he break dry? Is it dry? 3. It is dry. Not sure if he's left anything, though, with that cue ball tucked in behind the 9. The 10-13 might go in the corner. I think that's Rob Dayton there. Oh, and he's dropped the cue ball in that bottom right corner. That's going to be ball in hand to James with everything to go. You know, high ball looks good except for that 10-13, but I'm sure he can make something work with it. Just answering questions as we go through. Every time I do a big stream like this, I learn a whole lot about the whole process. So it's been very educational. I appreciate the opportunity.
There's only one team that has to make the ferry. Right?
James doesn't want that 4-ball to get in the road. He can play the 15 and bring the cue ball back to bump the 4-ball out of the way, but then it's just getting back in there with the 11. He could play the 10-13 combination and bring the cue ball around to the other side. Bring the cue ball around 3 rails, but I'm not sure that is really what he wants to do. Oh, he's gotten a good rub. The 11 goes bottom right past the 5. There is a window between the 3 and the 4 to play the 15. It's not easy, but the run out is still possible without breaking anything out. Oh, he's drifted the 11 into the 5. As long as the 5 goes down, it's not going to hurt him too badly. But here's Phil to get Metro to 9. All of the matches after this will be on 3 tables, so if we run a little long, hopefully we can make up some time. As it is inevitable on Sunday, folks would love to be focusing on the finals, but they got to keep one eye on the clock because a lot of people got to get home, myself included. Can't be late for work tomorrow. Be nice if streaming was work tomorrow. That'd be a good job.
Well, that's what I was. You'd think somebody would see me in there.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. It's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow it's trades. On the job site. Got to meet them there. Russ with the head ball break. He's made the 2. He broke from a little off center there, so maybe the next time James breaks, if he goes a little off center, that might change things a little bit. Rob trying to get the 4 ball through that high ball that was there. Didn't get it done. So James will take a walk around the table and see what he can find. Either the 11 in the corner or the 10 in the side. 10 in the side is my guess. That gives him a huge area to be in shape for either the 9 or the 11. Anywhere in there, it's massive. You almost have a quarter of the table. Just got to make the pot. Or AKA pocket the ball. Top left, James going to check that cue ball on the end rail, come back out for the 9. He wants to be a little straighter. Another 4 or 5 inches would be perfect. He can make this work though. He'll cheat the pocket on the 9 ball. Play it into the right hand side, keeping his cue ball as straight as possible. This will go in here, not in here, as it lets the cue ball stay there better. And he can play the 8 in the top right corner. Hard to see. Easier if you've got a camera over top of it. That's what they call That's what they mean when they're referring to cheating a pocket. Picking a side of a pocket instead of straight in the center. James taking an extra second. He's a little offline with the 8. Russ with a nice shot and a breakout. Should be off and running here. James just needs to draw this cue ball off the side or off the 8 to the side rail. And he's done just that. Metro now at 10. Our rosters for this match: Alberta Beef is Russ Whittle, Dennis Porth, James Hornby, Jeremiah Hampton, and Rob Dayton. Metro Taguys is James Yanita, Chris Jackson, Kyle Foster, and Phil Tarancho, and Sean Telvin. Russ still walking around. Double checking lines, making sure what he thinks goes. 6 in the side. No, 10 in the corner. I thought he was high ball, and then it looked like he was aiming at the 6. All confused there sometimes. Be nice to have like 6 angles of every table, but it's not to be. Kyle with the 15 sliding the cue ball up table. Russ missing the 14. These Predator tables seem to be a little tighter than some of the tables they've used in previous years. I think they used to play on valleys, which, again, that shouldn't be a surprise if these ones play tighter. Kyle picking out a nice pattern here. With that 10 in the side, he should be able to roll up, maybe get the cue ball onto the 1 and take the 11 in this bottom left corner. Oh, it's going to be shy. And he didn't make the 10. Sean Telbin on table 2. May end up playing that 1-4 combination. Prefer to leave the 3 till last if you can, because the shape is pretty easy over to the 8. 8 ball's not in a tough spot that you have to worry too much about shape for it. Anything over in that quarter of the table almost will work. Anywhere, somewhere in that area. Sean's come a little too far. He may end up just playing this as close to a stop shot as he can. Sean rolling forward. He should be able to play this combination. Cue ball into the 1, 1 into the 4, 4 into the corner. And the 1 ball will probably drift this way. The cue ball will drift that way. And he should be able to play the 1 into this pocket next. He wants to have some angle on it so he doesn't have to fight to get back down for the 8 ball. Meanwhile, Dennis, getting through the rack, is just about to put Alberta Beef at 6. He's going to wait for Sean. Sean's going to take this combination. Well controlled. Now the only issue here is Sean can't go as steep as he'd like into this so that he gets down here, of course, because that cluster's there. So Sean's going to come in and over and just try and land in this area. What the heck? Did I hit something with my mouse there? There we go. Just wants to get past the side pocket. That's going to be good enough position. Oh. And he's right where he wanted to be. Just didn't make the 1. Russ back to the table. Probably just play this ball into the side pocket and leave enough angle, or leave the correct angle to play that 9 up in the top left corner. He's worried about maybe bumping the 9 because he can't really draw off of this ball. The danger here is if you draw off of the 10 ball, you're so close to the rail that your accuracy is decreased. If you get the weight wrong, you're going to scratch in the corner, right? And it's very easy to hit this full or thin. Full, it will go into this bottom side of that side pocket. Thin, it goes into the top side, and that drastically changes your line and speed that you have on the cue ball. And he could very easily not get any shape on the 9. If he rolls it in with top, he could bump the 9 and end up with a funny angle on the 9. So even though it looks straightforward, it really isn't. And there's the little tricky part. He went into the 9, but he may have been worried that he was going to bump it too much and have a crazy angle the other way. In the end, it doesn't quite hit it solid enough, and he's got a really thin cut. Play this with right-hand side, and he'll go 2 rails down table and still have the 14. Just like that. Nicely done. Perfect on that last ball. This will be another game for Alberta Beef. I think they've already got their 6th, haven't they? This should be the 7th. Not sure. Maybe they're not updating the tablet. One of them will notice soon. Maybe after this game. All right. Just had another fella stop by the booth. Back to the match. I think that we've got a wrong score there, so I'm going to go double check and see if the tablet has died or something, and make sure that they're at least aware that it's still there. Be right back. Sorry, Dave, I was muted there. I had somebody come up to the table and start asking some questions, so I'll be back in just a minute. I seem to have lost connection to the scoring tablet.
Oh, we got bumped onto the main one though. What? We got bumped onto the.
See if I can get Justin to look at that.
That's a qualifier, when you went up a division, you stayed. If you'd won that first qualifier, you would have been the eighth. Yeah. That's what your target was. Yeah. But you can still get first. Me and JV let our team down. You can still get first in this one.
Yeah, we've been playing socks, so that's why.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you.
It's 10-7. Just as an FYI. I double checked the tablet. The tablet says 10-7, but somewhere between the tablet and my system, we've lost the connection. Trying to reconnect. It's not working on my end, so I got to call the mastermind. Mr. Justin Lee of ELO Stream and the ELO Sports Facebook page. Rob missed a great chance to put his team back within 2 and make the score 10-8. But Chris Jackson coming to the table. He's got a little bit of a tricky run out here with that 13 on the side rail, but he should be okay if he can pot this 11. That'll be the biggest challenge. That'll work. Nice little bump on the 14. He would like to have just a tiny bit of angle on this 13 so he can draw back. There you go. And now he can just draw straight back here. End up somewhere in this zone. Just a little bottom right. There you go. And you got to be careful you don't go straight up and down. If you go straight up and down, he's going to run into the 8. Just a hair left. We'll bring him back. Top or bottom. It's still going to be rolling when it gets there. You're not going to hit it that hard. Oh, he's running into the 8. Where's the 8 going to land? It's going to end up right over the side pocket. That'll work. 11-7 is the score. I'm going to see if I can adjust it myself. Give me a second. Yeah, that didn't work. But Phil getting through that rack on the left-hand table. This is going to put them at 12-7. I'm just going to see if I can find Justin and get him to reset that. He's probably not near his phone. Back in a minute. Okay, he'll just be a couple minutes, and I'm sure he'll get that score figured out. It's 12-7 right now, though. We've just been trying out a new system, Dave, and to be honest with you, having the players do the scoring, because I'm not sitting beside the players. I don't want to sit beside the players, because then I can't talk at a normal volume. Right? But if they control the score, because they have to write it on the score sheet anyway, they're reporting the score anyway. If we can get them to control the score, that will be more accurate. That'll be less checking back and forth for me. It's just this is the first time we've used this system. So, you know, there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be a few little glitches. But anyway, if we can make it so that the players control the score, then I don't have to worry about it. And maybe I can start paying attention and collecting some stats. Make it a little bit more interesting to see how one team does on the break versus another team. Just something we're working on. We're always trying new ideas and trying new things. I like them doing the scoring on the tablet. It frees me up to do other things. Like the more things I can get off my plate, the better.
Hi, Tori.
So many different variables from tournament to tournament to tournament. Tables, cloth, balls, lighting. They didn't get a chance to put the table lights up. Some folks are fairly unhappy about that, but some things are out of your control. Nice bank. Dennis cutting that 13 in the side, trying to come around and stay on the high ball. He's got to put a little bit of speed into this to get around. Does so nicely. Well, that should be okay. He's still got the 10 ball on the left side. Could also take the 11 in the top right-hand corner if he so chose. Meanwhile, Chris Jackson stepping to the table with ball in hand. That'll work out well. This will give him a chance to come another 2 rails out. Maybe just 1 rail, because he's not going to be able to hit. You'd want to play a little bit of bottom right on this to spin the cue ball around. So maybe 1 rail inside the 1 ball. So between the 1 and the 12. Just like that. And the danger on this 12 to get on the 11 is hitting that 7 will mess up your weight control. So it could scratch in the side, which is unlikely, or you could just end up short on the 11. That's not too bad. He's got room to cue it. Cue ball's going to come over here. He's just coming over here to take a look and see exactly where he wants to be, right in the center of that circle. So a little bottom, little left. Remember, for the bottom to take, it still has to be sliding when it hits that 11 ball. And because it's coming off at an angle, it's going to have some speed to it. It's a really touchy shot. Oh, he went 2 rails. He was trying to go 2 rails to the end rail and side rail. As he's kind of left it off angle and long, he could take it to the corner or the side. He'll wait for the player behind him. Doesn't want to be rushed. Last thing you want to be is, or want to have happened in a tournament like this, is get bumped as you're shooting the ball. I think James was trying the combination, unable to get it to go. And Dennis not able to pot the 8. He's going to let his opponent, Sean Telbin, back to the table. Chris opening up the table for his balls that he had a little congestion around. Sean's looking at the 6, probably playing the 4 next. James with the 1 on the side. He's cleaned up this end of the table. Now working to the other end. The 6-5 combination.
Did you want the plastic for that?
No, that's all right.
No? Okay.
Got to control the 6. He's going to take the 2-5. That's going to push the 8 towards the corner pocket. That'll work. And he can play the same speed of shot. He needs to hit this a little bit harder to get the cue ball past the 6. But just a little bit of left. Just a little bit. Oh, he's right into the 6. That's going to go past the side. What looked like a really likely win has now turned into an opportunity, most likely an opportunity for his opponent. He can bank corner this. Oh, Sean doesn't want to get on that 4. Banks the 7 ball on the side. That's his best option now. And I think he's going to play the in off. Eddie rattles it in the corner. Just about recovers. Chris Jackson back to the table. All right, should be able to get this to work here. Give me a second. There we go.
Hope she gets covered.
I got the teams wrong. There we go. Back rolling with the scorecard. So looks like they're going to go to 14 with that win right there. James Janita starting things off in this on the table on the right. I clearly haven't done enough team events. My wordage ability is failing me today. Not sure who James' opponent is. Oh, they've switched to 3 tables. So they're only 2 away.
We gotta go that far? You can go.
So James breaking with his team only needing 2. They got a ball down on the left-hand side. Not sure who broke that. James coming up dry again. Definitely an enclosed room next time. Definitely the next time we stream we'll try and look for an enclosed room off to the side. But that's the way it goes. Gently rolls the 11 in. The cue ball is going to go far. That's Rob Dayton on the left table. Russ Whittle on the right. Take these 2 games down. They'll be back within 4, making a fight of it. Rob should be able to make this 10 and just roll forward for that 15 in the side. Every game starts with a plan, but it can go sideways quickly.
I'm running hot, man. You should put me on the TV table. I'm sure your glasses like you are.
He's gone a little far. Into the rail on the 14. Didn't come out far enough for the 15. He's hooked on almost everything else. He might see the 9, but that's a last-ditch effort to try and get that down table. Might be his only option. We could see the short cue coming out. I didn't get to see that on Rob's shot. How close that was. Yeah, to be honest, I'd have to blow that up and slow it down. But it looked fairly good. Sean making the 2 through that ball. That one was a little different. He had the left side of that pocket was mostly open, so as long as you hit the left side of that object ball that's in there, you're most likely going to fall in. Russ trying to jump the 3, make the 15 in the corner. Anytime you bring out the jump cue, makes it a little tougher. Sean just wants to draw up a little bit. Oh, not too far. That's perfect. He'll have the 1. He can pretty much hold it there as best he can and take the 7 into the opposite corner pocket. Sorry, Victor. That's actually a setting on like Brandon said. That's a setting on your Facebook. Click the little wheel on your Facebook thing and turn captions off. Sean Telbin to put the Metro on the hill. James starting things off, getting onto the 1. He's just checking his angle to see where he has to put the cue ball. If they're only playing on one table now, then I might as well just show the one table. I'll monitor my feed and see if they start up on the second table. James is trying to figure out the plan. I'm not sure if that 6 goes by that 13 or not.
What about John? He won the swing.
Tom not get his picture? You not get a picture? Where's your puck? Back at the hotel? You get a check? You got a check but no picture. Do me a favor.
James with the 5 ball.
Just let me take a picture of you with the puck.
Leans it for the rolls the cue ball forward for the 4. Wants to land as straight as he can on the 2. Now this might be a little bit tricky. He needs to go right there. He's going to go between the 9 and the 13 and come back out. If he comes a little far, he'll still have the 6. He really doesn't want to go from 6 to the 7 though. Much prefers 7 to the 6. The angle is more natural from the 7 to the 6 than it would be from the 6 to the 7. Can be done if he has to do it, but prefer to go the other way. Might draw into the 13. I just realized the way he was cueing at it, he wasn't going to be putting that forward. He may be a little bit too straight on the 7. He may have to do the 6-7. There's his pocket line. So that gives... Oh, that's not a good representation. He's checking the line. He wants to get through here. Oh, no, he is going to go for the... He is going to try and stun it or just draw it back. If he's that straight, he might just draw it back, bump into the 9. Doesn't want to be resting up against the 9. Wants to be able to cue that cue ball. He was perfectly straight. Drew it right back onto the 8. And now he'll probably just roll it forward. Take the 8 in that top right corner. Although he's looking at looking at the side pocket now. They're on the hill. So if he takes a few extra seconds, I don't blame him. Our next match will be starting very quickly right after that, about 10, maybe 15 minutes. We are a little bit behind, but they will play on 3 tables, so we're only going to get 2. Playing this a little bit of bottom, just wants to hold that cue ball as straight as he can. Oh, it's gone in towards the 8. This makes it different. He's going to call it in the side. He's going to play this with draw and try and get that cue ball out of the corner pocket. Like to thank the sponsors of the tournament, the CCS, of course. This is their own tournament in Ted Harms, the 2023 British Columbia Pool Championships. Raid cues by Falcon, Cap Billiards, and Rose Cantor, the tournament organizer. Special thank you to Rob Wright, our tournament director. Brad Haydu for the posters. Justin Lee, my partner in crime here with the Elo Stream system. Oh, and the ball went down on another table. It's over. On the 3rd table. They were playing on 3 tables, and I guess that finished. So it's all done. Metro Taguys advance. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or less, probably, with your next match. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you shortly.